This video is going to show you solo GM with a last word build. Yes, you heard that right. The GM as of right now is Hypernet and will change to Battleground Mars as of today's reset. But right now it's Void Surge, Strand Surge, Arc Threat, Champions are Overload and Unstoppable, and a couple other GM mods not worth mentioning. Alright, for the last word build, we're using a Lucky Pants setup, of course, right? Now, last word does this, fan fire. This weapon fires fully automatic, hip fire shots, deal bonus precision damage whilst increasing reload speed and accuracy. This buff will stack with a couple of things I'm about to mention. First and foremost, it'll stack with Lucky Pants, and it will also stack with the kinetic buff. Certain activities in Destiny 2 have kinetic buffs. Let's read it. I hope you can read English, because you should be able to. Kinetic weapons do increased damage when your super element matches an active surge. If you do not match an active surge, your kinetic weapon will lose 25% weapon damage. We've got a choice, Tether or Silk Strike. Tether, Silk Strike. We're on Hunter, so I went with Silk Strike, but I could have definitely went Tether as well. Either or, to be honest. You know, a lot of you are complaining about next season's flat 15% buff. It won't be much of a problem because I can tell you that most of you are leaving the overcharge buff on the table. Yeah, on one hand you're complaining about next season's flat buff, but on the other hand, for years a lot of you have been missing out on this simple buff that I've explained over the years many times. And a lot of you are just oblivious to that buff and how important surges and overcharge kinetic buff is to GMs and activities that have this mod. A lot of you have been playing without a 25% buff. So I think you're going to be alright next season if you lose a 15% buff if you're not using one of the new weapons. Because obliviously, you have been playing without that buff anyway. It's 25%. 25%. You know what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying now? Right, getting back to the last word build. Here's the armor mods. I'm not going to go through it too much because there will be a dim link, but I will take you through the reason behind each thing. So Silk Strike to overcharge last word. I'm going for a quicker amplified this time with Marksman's Dodge. Snare Bomb. Snare Bomb is a tool for you to play very aggressive on a Hunter. Hunters are sleeping on Snare Bomb and you shouldn't be. It's very powerful in the game right now. Dust Field Grenade for Unstoppable Champs. I'm using Threaded Spectre and Ascension. No need for invisibility. Let me get you out of that invisibility jail. This video hopefully will set you free. Fragments are Facet of Ruin. Now that's going to buff a lot of things. It buffs Dust Field Grenade and it buffs Hellfire Spike. Read it. Slows and Scorches. What does this do? This enhances ignitions and shatter damage. You will eventually get an ignition and a slow from, a slow and a freeze from Hellfire. Facet Ruin. Next season, Prismatic fragments are getting nerfed. You're going to have to dial in these fragment mods. A lot of you are running the wrong mods. You're going to have to make a video about all these fragments and what they do at one point, and maybe will. Facet Protection. Free damage resist. Facet of Hope. When you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates quicker. This is better for Ascension gameplay. If you run an Ascension Hunter, you always run this. Facet of Dawn for a damage buff for your weapons. Facet of Balance is a good gameplay loop on Prismatic. And Facet of Grace I'm trying out. I'm trying Facet of Grace out because I'm going to use my kinetic weapon a lot. And it is quite noticeable, the Transcendence gains from this. I'm not saying that this is a fantastic fragment, but it's alright. It's not bad when you've featured a prismatic build round a kinetic weapon. Now the reason why Snare Bomb's so good is linking it to the artifact mods. The most important artifact mod for hunters this season on Prismatic is this one here. Malign Harvest. Applying Weaken provides a small void overshield. This allows you to play very aggressive on a hunter with Snare Bomb. Other important mods, like I say, I'm not going through them all. Particles important. Defib Blast is very important. And Go From Lead's kind of nice in this. Don't need special finisher because we're getting onto weapons. Cycle Pump. Cycle Pump with Power Ambition. This will stun Overload Champions, as it says right there. Like I said, we're using Last Word and a Fire and Forget utility linear fusion rifle with Unstoppable built into it, which works out really good in this particular GM. But that was the build information on with the run. Okay, so in this run, let's evaluate how well Last Word performs with this build. I'm going to pop an Ascension straight away for Amplified buff, just so we can run up quicker. Pay attention to class ability regen bottom. You can see I'm halfway, 3/4, just about getting it. See, with Amplified, you get tier 5, you get 5 tiers for free, right? So that enhances that. Obviously, with Facet of Hope, it's nice. So we've got Speed Booster. I'm skipping. Yep. I'm going to stay left so the snipers can't really hit me. Look. Then what I'll do is pop another Ascension. It is risky, but we're fine. I know that I'll be able to survive if I have an Ascension. That's why I use a clone. The clone is the art of deception. Then we'll whip out Last Word and just melt down these orange bars at the top. That's a little optimization there. You're skipping a lot. Okay, Unstoppable has actually pushed me, which is nice. I actually want that. I'll stun with Fire and Forget, Radiant with Smoke Bomb, and then boom, look at that damage with Last Word. Almost finishable. I would have... I was close to getting finishable, that's fine. Okay, finish off that. He's the second unstop, so I'll get a Dustfield down, then a clone, because the ads are pushing me now. I'll do another Radiant Smoke Bomb for Overshield. Look at that. Melt down the second unstop. Really good. Now I'm just going to run. I'm not picking up the Cranium. I'm not picking up a Cranium because I want to showcase Last Word damage and my kit. I don't need to show off Cranium damage to you. I've done this 10 billion times. I've already showed that off to you. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is get rid of these turrets. This is a skip, by the way. It allows you to skip a lot. You're still killing champs, but you've optimized turret section. This means that you can kill the turrets before ad spawning. This is actually a big deal. Yeah, I'll just get rid of this turret. Now I've got Kinetic Holster on, which actually comes in clutch. Kinetic Holster is actually really good on like hand cannons with Lucky Pants. Don't argue it. Don't tell me I should have ran Kinetic Surge. No, I don't need surges. Don't need surges in GMs. Never do. Only fireteam gameplay do you need surges. When you're playing like this, you don't need it. Because you've already matched the surge. GM gives you free surge. You don't need another surge on boots. No need. You want orb mods, holster mods, and scavs. That's what you do. Now I use a super here because we want to clear out this section pretty quick. And I don't need my super for a bit. Remember, look at that, the amount of clones we're making. You can make unlimited, well not unlimited, but you can make tons of clones while you're in your super. Just get rid of the final ads up top here. But look at what we're doing there. We're just clearing out all the arena. Using deception, using the clone so that I can melt the ads with my weapons. Look, the ad's oblivious to where I am. No need for invis on this build. Zero reason. Zero reasons to run invis on this. Alright, Tormentor spawns in. So I'm going to break the Tormentor with the linear. I could break the Tormentor with Last Word, and I will use Last Word damage on him. I'm going to show you a bit of optimizations on him. A new optimization I've got. Forever. Oh yeah, the left shoulder pad I haven't broke yet. I'm forever updating strats, so there's another strat. Okay, so we've broken him. Particle Reconstruction melts with Fire and Forget, plus the Chill Clip, really good. Alright, here's the optimizations. Come to this location, and there's a unique effect on the Tormentor. The Tormentor cannot grab you here, he will not. His animation is locked and he won't be able to. It's a mini cheese, mini exploit, kind of, yes. But it allows me to showcase off Last Word damage. Yeah. Now, like I say, it chunks when we get our buff going and we hit all our crits. But obviously you've got to hip fire. So there's a high skill ceiling to Last Word in PvE. There definitely is. And now he pushes. I haven't got my smoke yet, so I push back a little bit. I think I'm going to deal with the unstop anyways. Yeah, it's time to deal with him. If you deal with the unstop later on, you don't get a second one to spawn in. You need to get the Tormentor to a third HP or close to. So don't kill that unstop until you get the Tormentor weak. That's how you do it. This is a quicker way of doing it. Look, we're on 4 minutes. 5 minutes and we're nearly done here. So this is a quick, for no cranium, this is really good. In fact, I haven't even picked a cranium up. Now we're aggroing the boss, the Tormentor over. I'm close to my Transcendent. Oh, here we go. He is revenge for all the guardians that this guy has grabbed over the years, for all the pain and suffering he's caused my brothers and sisters. I'm giving him it back, look. Karma's come to him, finishing him off. Oh, Destiny 2 gives him respite. He gets an advantage, right? No, well, actually, I got the advantage. You can super him, look. You can super the boss and he won't grab you, although the further you go out, the more likely he is. Look, this is advanced techniques. You're not getting this from anybody else. Supering a Tormentor like this is really advantageous. And I wish I'd knew about this a little bit sooner, like in this exact fashion. I knew you could stand here, but I didn't know you could super him like that and he doesn't grab you. Test it, it doesn't grab you. So yeah, we're just doing our Lucky Pants rotation, but just look how good this is. It isolates Tormentor away from ads. He does get me weak, but I anticipate that. Getting your shields broke, don't be worried about it. A lot of Guardians in 2025 get worried then when their shields break. That's a custom of playing Destiny 1 and 2. Because if you didn't see, I've done obviously a solo Nightfall from D1. How many times am I shield breaking that? Often. You need to get used to pain and suffering in Destiny. You need to get used to managing red bar health in Destiny. Often over the years, I've seen people comment on my video saying, you nearly died 5 times in the video. Alright, yeah, but I've done the run. What does it matter if I nearly died 5 times? That might be because I had good movement when my shields were broken. You need to do HP management. That's not sources. That's not like brown sauce. That's health management, health pool management. You need to learn red bar management, health bar, not ads, you. When your shields break, what do you do? If you stand there and die, then that's you. That's a you problem. You haven't managed your health. That's a skill set. And I learned that way back D1. Way back to Destiny 2 Leviathan days. I've learned all of those things. A lot of Guardians I don't know, use a softer. I don't know. Softer in 2025, a lot of your new ones. Some of you aren't, some of you are. I don't know. Don't be so soft. You get weak. You need to work. Work the movement. Work it. Hustle. You need to be a good hustler. That's what you need to do. So that's a tip for today. Make sure you start practicing red bar health movement. Get weak on purpose and run round a map on GM level. That's it. That's an exercise tool for you to get better. That's one tool. I'm going to pop Transcendence here because we've got it to use, and this phase is annoying. It is quite annoying with the Taken and stuff and the Centurions. Look at the melt with Lucky Pants. That's exactly what I was wanting to do. There's a Centurion behind that Phalanx, which is annoying me. My Transcendence is about to run out, so I could have utilised my Transcendence a little bit better than what I did here. But that's alright, because my plan is to kill the final unstop with my super, because I don't need it. Don't need it for ages. Anytime you're doing an encounter and you don't need a super for ages, then use that super. Try and think about how you can use your super in best possible light. Look, we get pushed here. I do an Ascension. Smoke. Didn't get over shield. I guess because the ad died before that. Then super, look. Champ falls over. Look at that Silk Strike. Massive damage. I haven't even got Limit Break on. Although Limit Break's hard to proc. Well, you need Woven Mail to proc it. It's not that hard to proc, but yeah. It's not like you can use Amplified for Limit Break and it gets the buff. You need to match the buff. So it needs a strand buff. But that's fine. I'm using Particle Reconstruction anyways. And Silk Strike's doing more than enough damage for me in this run. It's more on for ads. It's more on for champs. It's more on for critical moments. That's what the Silk Strike... Oh, and also to overcharge last word. Like I say, I could have ran Tether, for sure. I would have got less of them though. Bear that in mind. On a Lucky Pants Tether build, you would get less Tethers than you would Silk Strike. Because Silk Strike's got the times 3 buff, Tether has not. However, Tether's nice with Orpheus rigs and stuff, but that would mean you haven't got Lucky Pants on. This is a last word build. and the priority is Lucky Pants. Whenever you're using a hand cannon centric build on Hunter, Lucky Pants is the best, make no mistake. It's better than pretty much anything else. Yeah, if you're using Ariana's Vow, Warden's Law, Malfeasance, Last Word, it's always in your best interest to just do Lucky Pants. There is other ways and means of what you could do. You could do, you know, an exotic class item. You could do a Shards of Galanor class item roll. But that would be worse because you haven't got damage bonus on your Last Word and it needs it. Last Word's in a unique spot in PvE because it's either terrible or really good. And right now it's really good in this run. It's doing everything I wanted. Well, not everything, but it's doing most things I wanted to do really well. It does not play ranged gameplay very well. Above 15 meters, this weapon's no good for you. So you've got to play aggressive to get the most out of it. And with Lucky Pants, it is worth it in PvE actually. You could rock it in go to LFG, rock a Lucky Pants Last Word build, see who kicks you first. They shouldn't be kicking your mind, because Last Word does. You'll probably out DPS them, whatever they've got on. You'll probably out damage them in a GM, if you're good enough. If you're not good enough, you're not going to be able to pull it off. Another gameplay loop that would be similar is Malfeasance. Malfeasance probably would be better for players who are just learning Lucky Pants. If you're just somebody that's starting to learn it, then maybe do Malfeasance instead, because it's a little bit better than Last Word in terms of overall utility, because it's got more range and it's got a damage bonus against taken enemies. Alright, I'm going to use an Ascension to jolt, Smoke Down for Radiant, Overshield, and then we're just going to melt with Last Word. Now remember, with Fire and Forget, it's Chill Clip. Chill Clip stuns overloads off one shot, because slow. It's not Freeze that stuns. Well, Freeze does stun overload, but so does slow. So one shot, look, boom, stun right away. Fire and Forget is going to be a very useful weapon to us in Edge of Fate. Not telling you too much why, just it is going to be very useful. Some artifact mods that are favourable. Go and craft Chill Clip, LFR, Fire and Forget. If you haven't got the pattern, go and get it, because you can. Operation Seraph Shield drops it, so you can get the pattern. It's possible to get it. So clean up some stuff. If you're waiting to do on fire, if you're waiting on Edge of Fate with some things, one top tip: go and craft Fire and Forget. Go and check if you've got the roll. If you haven't, well then go and get it. It's possible for you to get it. Operation Seraph Shield drops the pattern for it. Need 5 red borders. Boom, you've got it. All right. So we've been using the cranium there. I'm not going to use it too much because I want to showcase my build more so. Need to get rid of these snipers. Like I said, we're using Fire and Forget as mod as a utility weapon, and it got a lot of ammo in it because it's field prep. So you can spam it. You can use it mod as a utility and get one stun. I'm going to get a stun here with Ascension instead. Remember, Ascension jolts. So it's S plus obviously for overloads just because of that. Okay, we're going to try and get rid of these snipers. I think he falls off. He would do. I've got some ammo behind me, so don't forget. Massive amounts of ammo there. Obviously, field prep stacks with scav mods. For those new players who are around, field prep stacks with scavenger mods. Very important knowledge to remember that. It's a top tip for GMs, that. Okay, we'll get rid of this. Last Word can't get rid of the snipers. Very good. Not from range. That's its weakness. Every weapon has its own weakness, like exotic weapon wise, and Last Word's weakness is range. That's its range. That's its weakness. That's its Achilles heel. I want to use a super here. It's the perfect time to super, because it just gets rid of the snipers really quickly and the captain, and we can use the rest of our super for some clones and get rid of some of the ads in middle. I've got a Transcendence to use, and I'm going to use it. That's exactly what I'm going to do. But I'm just going to get rid of some of these ads in middle. Look up Blight Rounds, proccing with Power of Ambition. Everyone can have access to Psycho Pump, apart from free-to-play players, I think. So, yeah, you'd be using Psycho Pump. It's really good in the game. It's one of the best special weapons in the game. It's top 10. It's maybe not velocity baton good. Well, I mean, it nearly is as good. If this, look at this. We pop an ascension and we just melt with our last word. Yeah, if Psychopomp had attrition, orbs and demo, it would be the best GL in the game because it has power of ambition and velocity baton does not. Look at this. We just whip out the. Such a unique gameplay style. This playing like this. Think of your last word more as a shotgun, more as a close range CQC hand cannon where you can melt overloads and any champs. I'm trying to think what the mods are. What's the artifact mods? Is it unstoppable hand cannon? I think it's. I can't mind what. I can't mind what hand cannons are next season. I think it's unstoppable. I even made a video on it, and I can't mind what it was, but you'll be able to use last word next year, next season. Basically, is what I'm saying to you, because it's on the artifact mods, which therefore will overcharge it, so it'll get the overcharge buff. Although if they've changed that, I don't know. But I propose they will. It will be just overcharged. I can't say that being different. Or use a cranium here, just to get rid or sort of do some damage. There's a Zealous Ogre in middle. Now, if there's ever a Zealous Bane, leave the Zealous till last. Because if you kill a Zealous Bane, you're going to set off mini Zealous adds that will chase you. Their aggro is much more aggressive and they'll just melt you down. Now, you can stand up top, but I don't want to because I'm using last word. I want to show it off. Let's get some last word damage on there. Don't really want to kill that Zealous Ogre, to be honest. I want to try and kill one of the other Ogres. That's it. It does good damage, last word. When it's all procced, it does sizable damage in PvE for sure. It's just got a high skill ceiling. Last word always has done. In PvP as well. Like there's some people in PvP that can melt with last word, but if I use last word in PvP, I don't do so well with it. Just because I don't play PvP much. Rarely do I play it. Because all my time and attention is focused on PvE, and it has to be because I've got a channel based around it. So it takes far too much time, so I don't have time to play PvP really. I only play PvP when I need to for a role in PvE. That's the only time. So if I need to go in Iron Banner for a particular role, I will. If I need a particular role from comp, I'll do it to focus the engrams, but that's my only time in PvP spent nowadays. I haven't got time to do it. I'm doing all of this for people. Takes time. It's time consuming this. Alright, so my strat here is going to be, I'm going to deal with some phalanxes to my right. I'm going to make sure that the Hydra cannot see me so that I can deal with it. You'll just see how it plays out. There's different ways of doing this. I'm doing it like this because my idea is to pop super on unstop or adds. We'll see how it plays out. Okay, I'm going to do 2 GL shots to my right to try and thin the herd. Then I'm going to do a LFR shot, but I do get the stun, but I get bad luck. But I get overshield and then I immediately proc a smoke bomb and then an ascension. Now, because the champ is not stunned, if the champ was stunned, I would kill the champ, but he's not now. So the goal is to then thin the herd and get rid of all the adds. Because the unstop is not threatening at all. If there's no adds alive, the unstop's weak. However, if all the phalanxes are alive, the unstop's very powerful. Because all the adds are going to focus you while you try and deal with the unstop. Isolation. Isolate champs away from adds. That is the biggest tip. On Consecration Titan, it's the opposite actually. You need to keep adds up for Sim4 buff. But on other classes, the opposite is true. Isolate adds away from a champ. This will increase your success rate of getting through an encounter for you. Now, I'm going to pop a Transcendence and then we're going to utilise a bit of last word damage. Which I can do this because I've got Overshield. Look at that. Look at what I'm tanking. Overshield provides a lot of damage resist, by the way. So yeah, we're just going to keep doing our Transcendence. By the way, this boss is very tanky. So I can definitely tell you that Last word's performing really good. I just need to manage my health and DPS. Yeah? But it is chunking when I get the buff. Now I'm out of luck. But I can make a clone and the boss will entirely focus the clone. I'm using clone technologies. Yeah? We haven't got the buff. That's fine though. I can reschedule it. I get a radio. I'm going to go under the boss. Look at this. Under his shield. Nice little optimization there. How long's it been? 30 seconds? We've got the boss half. Half of his first buy is done. This is really good. We're on 20 minutes. So as far as like DPS towards this boss, this build's performing really well. Look, I pop a clone. Boss gives me respite. Look at that. I can just go right under him. Get some. Look at the chunk. That's chunking. I wouldn't use it if it didn't. Definitely chunking. Malfeasance would probably chunk more. But I've already done malfeasance. I've already done it. I have done last word in GMs before. But it's a long time since I have. It's a very long time. So it was time to do last word run. It was the day for last word. Pop my ascension with the clone. Then we'll do our chunk damage. Now I haven't got my overshield, so I'll back up a little bit. So look at this. We're playing right up close to the boss. How close did you want me? I was gonna do some LFR damage, but I was like, you know, I'll just pop Transcends because I don't need it. I could use super as well, but I don't need to pop super on the boss. I'd rather just pop Transcends, get it out, and we can chunk him down. Look, you can rotate with his shield as well. You can play really aggressive like this. It's really good. It's just really interesting. It's completely different than everything else. Okay, so boss is sendable. He's been sent. Now I've got a super to burn, to waste. So I may as well go right now, right at the start. Because by the time I've finished my super, there's enough ads in this room to get it back. So when you're using these Roman supers, optimize them to your most efficiency. The best way to do that is at the start of a phase of an encounter, use it. Use the super as best as you can. Then chances are this still adds up. Then you can optimize a second super. Look at my super bar. I'm already a third. I've just used it. You know, when you're solo, you get more intellect. Far more intellect is being achieved when you're solo. In a fire team, we've all been there in LFG runs. All the ads fall over. It's hard to get your super sometimes in fire team because if you're in a well-coordinated team, you just melt everything anyways. So there's no requirement for supers on this bit or that bit because there's three of you. You can strategize more and play off each other. In solo, the dynamic is completely different where you really need to think more about what you're doing. That's why solo gameplay is, for me, king. On a watchability basis on YouTube and Twitch, solo is far more interesting to me than Fireteam. Always has been. Outside of contest day one raids and dungeons, solo's just king for me. If you couldn't solo in this game, I don't think you would see me play Destiny 2. I wouldn't play it. If there was no way to solo in this game, for example, then I wouldn't play. Because Fireteam game, if you've played 10, 11 years of Destiny, Fireteam gameplay is a snooze fest. Outside of day one stuff, it's a snooze fest. Unless I'm farming something and it's really fun. If I'm trying to farm something and I want to farm it in a team and it's fun, it's a fun farm, then that's good. But outside of that, little reasons for me to play Fireteam gameplay in that sense, unless we're farming. Okay, so we're just getting rid of these for all. Look at how good Psycho Pump was just to deal with all of the ads, all of the fraud. We're rounding them up. I believe they're all taken care of. I don't delete the blight until the end. This is the optimization, look. Works every time, no RNG to it. Aggro the boss on the top of that roof. The boss does not know where you are now. He will try to kill your spot, your last known location. He doesn't know we're crouched. So this is how you kill the Overload. Overload spawns here. So we'll use our abilities to stun the Overload, then immediately super. Immediate, unless you may die. You've got to be careful on that. You've got to be prepared. Fast reactions. Just pop super. Get rid of look at what we've done there. That super has dealt with all of the adds and overload very easily as well, just about. So that's a good optimization for you. Alright, so now I'm going to pick up Cranium. May as well, I've got it to use. I was unsure on this phase whether to do last word damage or not. And I was like, well, there's 4 craniums on the floor, I'll just pick it up. You've seen the last word gameplay and you'll see more of it. I showed you all of it on phase 1. Just on phase 2, it's a bit more awkward. There's blights. You know, if 4 blights at you, you probably will die. I mean, 2 you'll get away with. Concussive Dampener will save against these blights because they're area of effect damage. A Void Resist will save you against them. That's why I'm using 1 Void Resist, 1 Arc Resist and Concussive Dampener for resistance. That's the perfect resistance for this GM. Arc Fret is on, but most of the ads, a lot of the ads don't do Arc anyways. Only a few of them. I'm going to use Super here. It wasn't the best Super, he knocked me back. Silk Strike's not, I mean, it's good, it's chunking a little bit. It's not bad. It's not brilliant neither though. Star Rater Scales would have been better for that, but we're doing a last word run. Okay, now I'm going to pop a Transcendence, going to push up a little bit. Let's try and do some last word damage. I'm bored. I'm getting bored on the run with the craniums. I do get bored of them, I do, so I'm going to just go against what I just said a few moments ago. We're doing massive damage with the GL, with Blight rounds. Look at the super regen. Last word's good at taking the blights out as well. It's pretty good. Only problem is you might lose your buff when you're doing that. Like right now I've got my buff. So when I swap to last word I will have a buff available. I'm not debuffed. But I'm going to use a cranium now. May as well just get rid of the phase. Because I haven't got Transcendence to pop on him. Which means less smokes, which means less overshields. The boss is sendable anyway, so I'll just send him with the cranium. And now the final phase. Final phase is probably the easiest phase out of them all. Like phase 1 can be difficult for people because if you don't kill the Centurions quick enough or spawn kill them, they become a problem when they separate out. Phase 2 can be a problem if you don't spawn kill your overload and snipers, and the boss keeps. It's just you and the boss on that final phase. Whereas on the second phase. Whereas on final phase, it's a lot easier to manage. I mean, look at what's going on here. It's a cool phase. Don't get me wrong. It's a good spectacle. You got overlords fighting the Hydra and stuff. Because it's a taken Hydra, isn't it? That's why that's happening. So there's an interesting dynamic, but to solo it, as in the final phase, it's not much of a problem to do that. But yeah, we just want to kill our Minotaurs. I'm going to try and keep one alive, but I believe he dies this time on this run. Let's use a bit of GL here. Clean up with last word. And then we're done. Once we've killed 3 Minotaurs, I mean, I'm looking at my Transcendence as well. I need some Darkness energy from last word. That's what I need at the minute. So I'm just going to clean up the Thrall before I pick up Cranium. Remember, craniums do not disappear. Only when picked up will they disappear, and they're on a timer. But before they're picked up, they do not disappear at all. So this is the time to prep. For people who struggle with Hypernet more than others, this is what you want to do. You want to take down the Thrall first. Take down the Thrall, and then once that's done, you then Cranium. Cranium all of the Vex. 1 Cranium will do all of it. So don't need to pick 2 craniums up. You lose so much damage if you've done that. Just 1 cranium. And that means you've got access to 3 more craniums. Which 3 craniums would kill the boss. 2 would, to be honest. Just about. Because they do so much damage. So, we're on to our final Blight. This is where you stand for Unstoppable Phase. It's the best place to stand. The Minotaur is dead above me, which is a shame, but that's fine. We'll aggro the Hydra on the top of that roof. Here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pop a Transcendence, best thing to do right now. Then Overshield, and then Nade. If we get a stun, we'll pop Super. We did get a stun, so we pop super. Can't really see for my nade. I couldn't super the champ as good, but that's alright. The plan B is, if the champ's no longer stunned after that, kill all the scions. And make a clone at the back end of super, look. That's why it's so good, look. There's no threat. Where's the threat at? Tell me where the threat is there. I de-aggroed that champ after super exit. A lot of people complain to me, say, I don't use supers because I've got to run away. Well, if you're a hunter main, stop running away. You don't need to. Before Silk Strike ends, you need to use your class ability because it will not be consumed. You will make a clone and you will be very safe. You can then melt the targets that are left up after super, and you can even make a second clone again if you really need to. That is such a critical point to Silk Strike. That's one reason why it's so good with Ascension, is that you can use it right before it ends. You get a free ability use. And it means you won't die, because that's the one reason why people won't use Roman supers in GMs. So many people I've spoke to over the years, hundreds and thousands of people who always told me, I don't like Roman supers because I die in them. That's you though. That's not don't blame super. I don't want you blaming Roman supers when it's your fault. That's your lack of knowledge is with it. So don't be blaming this. Don't blame the kit. Blame yourself. I do that. If I die from a Roman super and I made the bad play, that's my fault. Don't be blaming nobody else. That's something that you did. Take accountability. Don't blame the game. Silk Strike's OP. It's OP. It's in a very good spot. They don't need to buff it or nerf it at all. Silk Strike's in the perfect spot, actually. It's in a perfect spot. Okay, I'm not going to pick up Cranium for the final phase because for the tradition of the video, we're going to kill him with Last Word. Awkward to kill him here because, I can't get too close to... I can, but those blights. So what I'm going to do is take down the blights, get a reload. I've got Out of Luck buff because I've been taking the blights. And then what I'm going to do is just make a clone, do some Psycho Pump damage. When that shield comes round, then I'm going to try and do some Last Word damage. Not ideal because the boss is out of the map. I don't know why he's on the outside of the map. It's weird. He should be on the map, I think. It just seems strange that he's off the map. If he was on the map, it would make it easier for me on this final phase with Last Word. And you can't super him neither. That's another thing. You can't with Roman supers. Because you'll fall off map. But yeah, that was a solo GM with Last Word. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.